Welcome to the more advanced chapters of our series. We're going to begin by talking about the secrets of FICO credit scoring high achievers. A FICO credit scoring high achiever is defined as a person with a credit score of 785 or above. You may sometimes get discouraged in your efforts to get up there high, but you must remember one thing. Even the people that are high achievers are not perfect. So let's take a look at the traits that have been found to be traits shared by FICO high achievers. Those of us who take credit scoring seriously know the importance of keeping up with the basics, such as being on time and keeping balances low on revolving accounts. FICO credit score of 760 is said to be the credit score at which you can get anything you want, the lowest rates available on any loan. But FICO defines a true high achiever as someone that has a credit score of 785 or above. In my study of FICO, I have found that finally they listed the traits that high achievers have in common. Let's review them so that we have something to shoot for. I mean, we all strive for perfection, but remember, perfection never happens, but good is good enough. So let's take them and examine each one. Number one, of course, is low balances in revolving accounts. There is no substitute for low balances in revolving accounts and paying those revolving accounts on time. If you're not going to do that, you're never going to have a high credit score. You can always put the balances down on the accounts, but of course you can never make up for a lot of late payments, or you can sometimes get one forgiven, but it's best to never go there in the first place. So a high achiever keeps low balances in their revolving accounts. They don't max out their credit cards. They consistently pay on time. Now, one of the questions that comes up frequently is, what is the ideal number of credit cards? There's no really ideal number. There is no punishment for having too many. I think that having one or two is not a good idea, that probably three would be the least that you really should have if you're in the market for a higher FICO score, because it gives you three good lines of credit for the computer to read. The high achiever, the average FICO high achiever, has 7 credit cards. So to the extent that that question is, there's no one answer, but I think 7 is a good number to keep in mind. Average of 4 credit cards with balances and an average of 7% of the revolving credit in use. So out of those 7 credit cards, almost half of them are zeroed out, and only 7% is in use. So a high achiever would be said to keep their usage at a single-digit territory. 1/3 have balances of more than $8,500 on non-mortgage accounts. Non-mortgage accounts are counted differently. The debt to available credit ratio on a mortgage is not punished in the same way that it is with revolving credit, because it's a secured loan. It's a higher category of a loan. But 2/3 of them have averages of less than $8,500. Again, we're speaking about non-mortgage accounts. Mortgage accounts are not included in this survey. So $8,500, this figure, it's a little misleading in a sense, because its meaning is in relation. To have any real meaning, you would have to know what the level of credit available is, because it's always the debt to the available credit, not just the amount of the debt. So $8,500 is more or less, it wouldn't be the median, but most people have less than $8,500 that have a FICO credit score of 785 or above. 96% show no missed payments whatsoever. 96%. A missed payment is deadly to becoming into the high achiever status. So again, it's a basic thing and something that we can never forget. Here's an interesting statistic. The oldest account is 25 years. Now, age of accounts for the younger people, there is only one way to cheat that system, and that's to piggyback on someone with an older account. We've discussed that. You can become an authorized user if you have a friend or a relative that has a card with, it must have a low balance, but if he has a lot of years on it, it's legal. It's been fought in federal court. The credit scoring companies don't like it, But if you piggyback, if you become an authorized user on someone with an account of great age, 20 years, 25 years, you will get credit for having an account of that age. Other than that, it's only a matter of time. So age of accounts is part of the component of the score, but the system can be gamed by piggybacking on it. And the most recent account opened is 28 months, and that's important because the average age of accounts, every time you open one, it brings the average age way down. When it comes to the age of accounts, the age factor, also known as time in file, includes the age of your oldest account is 50% of that, and the average age of all your other accounts is the other 50%. So the people that actually have an account of 25 years are not hurt so much by opening a brand new account. But a brand new account brings your average age down immediately, as well as being an inquiry, which is another story. So high achievers don't go around just opening accounts to take advantage of maybe sales in department stores or things of that nature. Don't take out credit unless you really need it. The average account is 11 years old. Now, see, this is something that probably a lot of people don't realize. That's a pretty good high figure for average age, especially if you have an oldest account of 25 years and your average age is 11 years. Age is only 10% of the total score, but it's still an important component. And once you get into the neighborhood of a high score, like 785, it becomes a kind of a law of diminishing returns about getting higher. So the age creeps up with time. And average age of 11 years old means not opening up a lot of new accounts for sure. Less than 1% have an account past due. Pay on time. Nothing more important than paying on time. Even to just have a good score. To have a great score like this, it is critical. Don't worry about being perfect. No one is really perfect, but we have to try as best we can. But remember, the perfect never happens. What happens in this life is we do the best we can and don't get discouraged because time is on your side. Now that you've become more and more educated about the process and you're more conscious of your behavior and how each action influences the whole score, your score will continue to grow as long as you keep adhering to the basics and keep your interest up in this series and keep studying. There's always new things coming along, there's new tricks, and there's always nice to keep an interest in it and keep that score, something that you can be proud of.